See, I was originally concerned that we thought the third wise man was, but I will say.
That's better than Three Stooges, huh? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll just go ahead and open it up to questions. Go ahead.
Chris, when a rookie quarterback has a performance like Bryce did, even in a loss, how can that help from a momentum standpoint, from just for play design? I know you're not designing the offensive plays, but from your standpoint, how can that help do the job for the coaches and for the player in connecting the dots moving forward?
Well, I think just in whole, as everybody's playing better, and we talked about it from the Atlanta game, right? The last drive, and we wanted to carry it over into this game. Know that we didn't start as fast as what we wanted to, but then he found his rhythm along with the other guys, and that's big because when you're doing those things, obviously confidence grows, and then what you're willing to do and what risk you're willing to take also increases. So I think it's as a collective, it's been big, and we need to continue that the next 2 weeks here.
Tommy Trumbull had season highs across the board and catches, targets, everything. Is he kind of becoming more of a security blanket for Bryce, or is that?
I think he's really grown. I said that probably about, I said in a special teams meeting probably about 6 weeks ago. You just saw things even before all the catches. You just saw other things with regards to our area, and then offensively things that he was doing when you watched the tape, that he was growing, and really pleased with him. I mean, he's been very effective when the ball's in his hands, so hopefully that continues.
Tariq, off injuries or on the practice squad, is he somebody you want to get out in the game of these last two games?
Well, we brought him back a little bit too, so we get some questions on it, you guys know. Tariq's very deserving. We had a spot so that he could come back. Glad to get him back out there on the grass and see where he's at. Seriously, it is great to have him around and practicing, because what he brings, you don't see it in the practices because you're obviously gone there, but what he brings to practice and how he practices, it's great to have around.
Would you like to get him a chance to play these last 2 games?
I can never promise anything. I'm going to, and therefore I won't answer that question. I want everybody that's on our team to have an opportunity to play, and he's no different.
Chris, some notable absences today. Any of those guys more concerned than another in terms of severity?
No, I don't think so. Some of those you're kind of into that week 17 banged up mode a little bit and just need a little day of rest.
Chris, some of the skill position guys, some of the offensive linemen have been criticized throughout the year for not doing enough for Bryce. So when Bryce has a performance like he did on Sunday, how much did you get a sense that maybe like lifted some of the guys, galvanized some of those guys just a little bit, or do you not? Is that not something that you hear or feel?
No, everybody supports each other in there, and I understand what you're saying about the question there, but you see it and you feel it right now with regards to guys playing more confident, and that only helps everybody. And hopefully we can continue that. This is going to be a tough game for us on the road. We haven't won on the road yet. So, there's a lot at stake for us. There's a lot at stake for the guys in their film. And, this week of preparation is big.
Chris, on that note, it's human nature to either look on social media or read articles or what have you.
Don't take this the wrong way. Don't look at your social media or read the articles, but go ahead.
Well, I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, with that criticism that Phil is talking about, it would be easy and human nature to get frustrated when you constantly hear, does Bryce have enough weapons, or is he getting good blocking?
I understand what you're saying.
It doesn't seem like that's the case right here in this locker room. What does that say about the locker room?
The locker room's tight, and we're staying the course. I said it to somebody the other day with regards to after our walkthrough on Saturday morning, the special teams group had a white elephant little party in the room, and to watch those guys, to watch grown men for a good half hour, laugh, giggle, make fun of each other, getting presents. You saw it's a bond, and only you see that. That's why this is a great team sport. With regards to negative criticism and those things, I encourage players don't read that stuff. And I know it's human nature, and that's today's, I call it today's player, looks at that stuff, but that you shouldn't. I mean, respect your writing and your opinion, but that doesn't affect how I go about my business, nor should those guys. And I think we try to emphasize that, and then just try to work better at improving your process, and then results will come. You know, and I think we've kind of seen that the last couple games.
You would respect this journalistic question: who had the worst white elephant present?
You know, there was a price limit on those things. They asked me if I was going to get involved. I said no, because I don't spend a lot of money. But no, there was some good gifts, and I can't really remember. Tommy seems to kind of get I think he's 2 years in a row where he's kind of gotten the bad gift. So he's improving on the field, but his white elephant picking is terrible.
What was the bad gift?
I can't remember, but it might have been. It wasn't good. It really wasn't good.
That typically means not good.
Yeah, but we'll stick with that concept also.
You talked about the way that the room is tight. Has that made your job easier in the interim role, trying to keep these guys moving forward and trying to win games?
Yeah, I think because we're all in it together. You know, I mean, it is. It's a brotherhood. You know, season hasn't gone like what we wanted, but that's not going to diminish the memories and the work ethic of being with each other. That stuff's all still really important. It has helped me, and I'm appreciative to those guys. So therefore, when you lose a tough game like we did the other day, it just stings. It hurts you because you understand what goes into it.
Is that perhaps a springboard into this week as you go on the road? I mean, you guys always say we turn the page.
Yeah.
But that sting also kind of lingers as you get ready for the next one.
I think what it is, I always kind of look at it, I talk about a scar. You know, when you have a scar, obviously it was a bad accident, but it heals up and the pain goes away. But when you still see it, you remember what took place, and then you need to try to learn from it. And I think that's what we're going to try to do again this week. We got another opportunity. We're only promised 2 more opportunities, and we're going on the road against a really good team that's looking to get in the playoffs. So for us, it's a playoff game for us, and we need to be ready to play.
You guys are at the top of the league in kick return yard average. I know the league's made a lot of rules that have kind of taken some of that element out of the game. Why do you guys think you've had so much success in that?
I think sometimes a lot of people don't cover kicks. So if you don't cover kicks, you don't practice and you know, covering that, and then therefore you have opportunities to return the ball. You know, it's still on a case by case when you bring it out and those type of things. And I know we suffered our first couple penalties that we'd had all year in last week's game. So it's an area that we got to get better at. This special teams unit is an excellent special teams unit that we're playing, and McManus is an excellent kicker. He's been in the league a long time, moved the ball around. He'll make it hard for Blackshear, and they got guys that run down. So we got a work cut out.
We've heard guys like Thielen say that they have seen the performance Bryce had Sunday, that they had seen it during practices, during OTAs. What was it that allowed him to do that during a game?
I think it's kind of the thing I always say: let things happen for you, not to you. And it was just coming very natural as the game was going. And you know, when we got the first touchdown, you could see the confidence growing on the sideline. I know we sputtered there for a little bit, but to come back, we were down 14 in the fourth quarter, and there was no panic, and we gave ourselves a chance. You know, we talk about getting the game to the fourth quarter, but really, when you get to the game in the fourth quarter, you're talking about inside of 5 minutes, and then let's play football. And Bryce did a great job of helping us get there. Our defense stepped up. You know, we pinned them down there on the team. We started playing all 3 phases together, and everyone was feeding off of each other. So that was a good sign. Now we get another opportunity to see if we can finish it. I'm sorry.
This isn't the first time you've had to prepare for 2 quarterbacks in a week. I mean, what's the advantages of, you know, maybe going against Bethard, and are you still going for Trevor Lawrence as well?
I don't think there's any advantages. You're still talking about NFL players, really good players, the guys that have been successful, an offense that's been explosive. They got a lot of weapons. At the same time, we're concentrating on ourselves. What areas can we improve on? And that's what we're focusing on. That's where our team is at right now. But they present some challenges, and we've got to be ready.
Okay, Phil, and then Dave.
You dealt a pretty severe blow to Atlanta's playoff hopes a couple weeks ago, almost did the same thing with Green Bay. You have another opportunity against Jacksonville. How much do you buy into that as a source of motivation in the locker room? To, if we're not going to be there, we don't want them to be there either.
Sure, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what competitors do. As I've always said, if they're going to turn the scoreboard on, we're going to keep score. We want to win, and regardless of what your record is, you go out there. I mean, really, I'm representing the players that are with me. We're brothers, and I have the name on my back. That did I do everything that I possibly could do to help us win, and to be able to lay your head on your pillow at night and say, yes, I did everything that I was supposed to do. That's how it should be. That's what a pro does. That's what we're expected to do, and that's what we need to do.
What have you seen in Bryce the last few games that's going to help him next year when he gets a fresh start?
You know, his work ethic is outstanding, and that hasn't changed. I see it all the time. In fact, he was in the weight room super early this morning, getting his lift in. The guy stays late and watches a lot of film. He has all the things that you see older quarterbacks have. Now you're seeing a guy take a fourth quarter drive, right, in the Atlanta game, and then to the next week to where it wasn't going as well offensively at the very beginning in the first quarter, but then saying, okay, let's stop. Now let's start playing and get everybody going. You're seeing a lot of those, what I call them, I guess, intangibles. I see it in practice when he commands the huddle. And he's just going to continue to get better and better as he goes through these experiences. And I tip my hat to him, because I know after the New Orleans game, I think that we've definitely seen a different player. Same guy, but I love how he's attacking things.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.